Whoops. I gotta take it off night mode. So we're on the Crescent Trail. Well, part of the Erie Canal Trail. So there's a little trailhead parking lot. We gotta cross a bridge. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Lyons Road Trailhead is where we're at on the Crescent Trail. So the Erie Canal Trail is across this bridge, but we're in the residential area, so let's get walking. Looks pretty interesting. So this part's a little close and sketchy, but you got decent shoulder on the side too, so. Our trail's right down below us here. Yeah, it's a fairly busy road, as you can tell. Whew, there. Railroad's right over here, so we're pretty close to the tracks, literally. Might be an Amtrak train coming, actually. Decided to walk and film on the way back, so. Yeah, so there's 3 trails we need to hike around here. Got the Crescent Trail on the other side of the canal. Looks like it's a pretty complex trail system. Greenery starting to happen finally. Here's where we are in the greenery. Hey, it's green. Lydon Road. What's the name of that road? That's the section that takes you to Fairport. That last little bit of it, the last 2-something miles. We'll see what happens today. How long it is to walk back to this other part. Whoa, that's steep. So last night, as I was leaving the other parking lot after the last episode, I found where Waste Management was. There were rail cars parked just before that railroad crossing. So that's a pretty extensive complex. But we're pretty much walking with Waste Management close by. So this whole 2-mile trail is pretty much around Waste Management. As you can see the siding right here. And I know there's quite a bit, so it's a big complex. I can see why trains need to keep switching them out. Oh, what's up there? Let's see what happens. Like I said, the other part of the trail is the trailer park road, a dead end, sketchy. That must be the Crescent Trail as well. Uh-oh. Do you hear it? It's not a horn yet. It's a Jeebo firing up out of nowhere. And, oh, forgot about him. Yeah. So it's getting to that season where everybody's starting to get out and about. It's a good thing that we did this during the winter, too. When it was the off season. We're probably not going to see this train coming because of the fact it's over there some. Oh, we might. I don't know. Let's see what's this going on here. No. Well, I'm going to hear a train go by. Nothing I can do about it. Waste Management's right here, so. I'm keeping an eye out over here along this embankment because I know I'm thinking West Shore Railroad used to come through here, and that's why the CSX line through the airport is called the West Shore. But every so often in here I'll see old railroad ties, so I'm not sure exactly where that line would have been. You can see freight cars for Waste Management. Let's hang out here for a minute. I think I see the main line actually right here. So, good place to take a break. It's just some of the things. I don't see them now, but the railroad ties. You can tell they're railroad ties. So, they've been there and shaped, been there a while. He's in Fairport. And there you go. Here's this episode's freight train, folks, on the Empire State Trail. I really hope these are the tracks. We're going to find out shortly, as I don't see how it would pass on the other side, because if Waste Management's over there, these have to be the main tracks. Next is, well, I've seen scarier trees, but next to this weird tree, we'll call it the weird tree. Again, you won't be able to see it when the foliage comes out, but nice little break. Again, I'm only that far up from the bridge. Not even half a mile yet. But the destination that's got me concerned is the white object way up there. But again, at some point we run into a trailer park, but I can't identify that white object. So, it's a nice peaceful walk. Other than this bird mocking me right now. Where you going? Oh yeah, right there. Right over my head. Meh, meh. It's a nice sturdy section though, for those that run and bike. Alright, I'm going to switch over to train channel. It's getting difficult, I'm sorry, but the switch between hiking and train channel, sometimes, you know, one or the other mix in, but because that's the way it works. You're hiking and then the train goes by and you happen to be right there, so why not? It's weird, because that's the train you're hearing right now coming at us. So watch this in the video. I'll mute it. There you go. So I'm not sure how close it's going to be, because that's Cars for Waste Management, and there's rail here. But there was also a siding I walked by, so we'll see how close this gets. Again, wasn't the best view, but as you can tell, I'm currently hiking the Empire State Trail. We're just outside of Fairport. Yeah, this here is a little concerning. The sheen in the water leaching out of the soil. I'm not going to speculate why there's a sheen in this area on the canal, but a little alarming. I've mentioned it already many times in the video, so I'm not going to mention it now, but, you know, theorize. What's the company in the area? And there's this weird looking sheen, a chemical sheen, coming out in the same area. There's some ruins right here. Something used to be here. Oh, it matches up to that tree. There you go. Concrete there. Concrete there. And what looks like it would have been a a fuel tank or something rounded there. There would definitely have been some kind of tank. So, some kind of tank there and concrete abutments. Again, we're near an industry, so it could have been part of that way back when. But then again, there was a railroad that used to run through here, so I don't know if that could have been from back then, from the railroad or the current industry, but another view of it. About 3/4 of a mile from the trailhead. Gas pipeline, do not anchor or dredge. Rochester Gas and Electric Corporation. Hey, a train viewing spot. If it was possible. Dang. Tempting. Still can't make out that white object at the end of this trail. And since I mentioned, I have not seen the old rail ties either. So that could have been where they went, is to whatever was that was in the concrete abutments. Back up a sec. Oh, this ain't suspicious. Why? What the? Monitoring equipment, maybe? Question mark? Suspicious? Definitely? Alright, so this part of the trail is not pleasant. Because you got a landfill over here. And you can smell it. So, it's not horrible, but there is an aroma in the air this morning. Again, depends on what direction the wind's blowing. Actually, there's no wind right now. So, yeah. I'll walk a little faster. Wait a minute. There's no escaping it because it's a huge complex. Anyway, there's a stink from a landfill. That appears to be a roof up here. That white object I've been obsessed about. Huh. Well, this used to be all sorts of debris in here. Vehicles. A rock pile. That. The only way I would get there is by boat, I would assume, because there's no roads anywhere, no houses, nothing. So for that to be right out here, they'd have to come by boat. Interesting. Huh. Again, you never know what you're gonna find. Oh, just like that, we're headed, folks. Yeah. I mean, we're just coming around the corner here. Again, this guy's driveway is right there at the gate, so you can't park at this end. You see where it's gated off. And that's the road into the trailer park. Obviously, the two signs that say Empire State Trail and the Erie Canalway Trail. And the stuff that says otherwise. So, yeah, that's it. And this is where you come off that road walk. Not much to see around here. Got some old school power towers here. Yeah, so that's a little more interesting hike than the last one. So we're gonna stop right here. So that would be where we would have started. But remember, there's still a chunk of road walk. I don't even see the bridge, so that's the trailer park. And yeah, you see why it surprised me. Because I walked from that bridge down there on a straight path. Mile and a half? Maybe a little more than a mile and a half. And I mentioned the power towers because we can look at this one where we're not looking at the guy's window. These ones are steel. And these are on the same power tower line as the last episode, where the rest of them all down through there are made out of wood. So yeah, not a little bad little hike. Just gotta get used to the smell. So, with a landfill nearby. So, B-roll on the way back. I got a little bit left of me, so this next episode coming up is going to be a continuation off today's. So I'll get to that bridge, and the more I can work this way, then the next parking lot I can work back to that point, and it'll be less of a hassle because I'll get a chance to sit down in between. So yeah, not a little bad little walk compared to last episode where it wasn't much. The only thing that exciting happened was on the train channel was the two head-end meet right there at that same spot, but the trail wise really wasn't much on there. At least you got some things to see along this one. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed and thanks for watching. Another beautiful day in upstate New York, which is a rare commodity. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. We're in Western New York. I'm gonna take a side trip. There is this that's been following the trail for a while too. That definitely looks like a railroad right away. Yeah. Oh, for sure. You see the old ties. They've been there a long time. And you can see the cut where the tracks would have been. It's like that all the way down through. But these ain't the ties I was seeing. I don't have any trains on the radar, so. So if the railroad and ties are over there in that ditch, what ties and railroad related stuff is up here that I can see from the trail? Is the question. Squirrel looking at the nut, dropped its nut. Sorry to disturb your dinner, squirrel. Yeah, right here. There's a lot of these along the way. That's an old rail tie. That's an old rail tie. So the only way I could think of is none of these trees, nothing was here. The railroad's still over there a ways. And every so often you'll come across, here's another one. So now that's definitely a railroad tie. That was placed there but never used. There's another one. Same dimension. You can tell it's been worked. Another one up there in the trees. That's all rotted. You see where the ends which is just bumped off. Clearly one right there at the same length. Comes down here. And the railroad is, you can see a darkness in the back there. That's the ditch it's supposed to be in. So, was there something along top? You can kind of make out the ditch back there. So these trees and brush would not have been here, because they're quite a ways away from, there's another one. Quite a ways away from where the tracks would have been. So again, cut the length. Just curiously hanging out here for the eyes to see. All the way down through until the bridge at least. And they're on this side. I don't know what's on the other side. Right here. This is where I started queuing in. Look at that. Don't that look like a rail tie that's been there a while? Perfectly shaped. Cut off at the ends. Same thing laying next to it. See, these are placed for sure. Those are old railroad ties. No doubt. Back in the day. And they would have been cut at the end, but Mother Nature took its time. Because where would that have come from? How would that have gotten there? You see another one right here. This end's been cut. It's not like a tree fell over. There's no stump here. There's no significant stump up there. These look like they're just chucked off. Because you got this one up here. That's laying, again, perfectly cut at the other end. Laying down here. Then that one piled up on top of it. And then these ones piled up on top of that. So these are railroad ties that were placed here. And the rail bed is in there somewhere. I can't make it out. It's still another 20 feet that way. So that's something interesting to look at. So that tells me none of this brush. Another one. None of this brush is here when these are placed. Perfectly cut at the end of it. So they've been here probably back in the, before the line was abandonment. I wonder if they're planning on doing maintenance work, and they said no. Right there, can you see the cut there? It's like a trench, but right there. It's time to see the cut. But it looked like something may have been up here too, but I don't know. It's just baffling. The weird things you find. I don't see any more right off anymore, so there's just that one area. It looks like. Looks like right here is where the rail line, the trench for that rail line would be. You got the CSX tracks up on top of it here. So, anyway, half as interesting. that trench run? Yeah, it's in there. There's something in there actually. Yeah, right there. More ties. Been there a long time. And it could have met these ones could meet the same fate as the other one because the tracks are way over there about 20 feet. And there's a modern tie. So far away. 2 modern ties laying right there. So they're not close enough to tracks. I'm sure they'll be there till the end of time. Oh, my bridge. I'm gonna meander a little bit this way and see what I can see. If I can catch a line of the abandoned to the main. I think this is a siding over here anyway. So I wonder if these are the old West Shore line. I'm trying to find a date, but I'm not seeing one. Yeah, I can't see a date on these. No. Because these are still joint bar rail, it's not welded rail, so interesting. Because I know the West Shore come pretty close here. Obviously that's why it's called the West Shore sub. But yeah. Well, we're gonna end this section. I'm gonna sit down for a minute, rethink my options, and I'm gonna start here on the next episode.